So let's just get real for a second, folks. Whenever the media thinks that a mass shooter has, I don't know, conservative tendencies, supports Trump, anything like that, they make sure to mention it in their news articles, right? Like, oh, this MAGA guy did something, they found a gun, just some crap like that, right? Because that's their game. They want to make everyone who believes in freedom and America just out to be, I don't know, a terrorist or a tyrant, when in reality, they're the tyrants. So that's our story today. So, folks, have you ever Googled yourself on one of those sites that says, oh, find people quick, and just seen what's come up? It's pretty scary stuff that we have no privacy nowadays. The reason why those exist is because data brokers make a fortune selling your personal information to these kinds of websites, as well as robocallers and scammers. That's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura can identify data brokers that are selling your information and make opt-out requests on your behalf. Brokers are legally required to remove you from their system upon request, and it is super difficult to do, so let Aura do it for you. You can try Aura for 2 weeks free using my link below the video. Aura also does so much to protect you from online threats that you simply just can't see. It's really easy to get set up, so you don't have to download several different apps to get all of the features. Those include parental controls, VPN, antivirus, password management, identity theft insurance, and more. You get everything at a very affordable price. So let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online so you can focus on things that are important to you in life. You can either let people continue to exploit and profit off of your private information, or you can go to aura.com/HDC and start your 2-week free trial today. We had an individual.
That's a man
who decided that he was going to clean up his neighborhood. Those were his exact words. So he drove down the street and decided to shoot a bunch of pedestrians and a bunch of parked cars. Now, listen to ABC report this while I put a picture of this individual up.
40-year-old suspect, Kim Brady Carricker, was charged with the murder of 5 people.
Well, Rick, we heard from investigators who took Carricker into custody, allegedly responsible for killing those 5 people in Concessing on Monday. He was heavily armed, also wearing a bulletproof vest, and when they started to search his home, they found more weapons, ammunition, and a will dated June 23rd, less than 2 weeks before the shooting.
So, let me just get this right for a second. When it doesn't have to do with something criminal, America is supposed to identify or call people what they want, right? So, I'll give you an example. If you're a trans person and you're just going about your day, maybe you go to McDonald's and you order, I don't know, Happy Meal. It seems like that's something that y'all would like. They have to call you by your pronouns or else you have a fit, throw a coffee right in their face. But when something criminal happens, all that goes out the window? Like, where's the pride community right now about this? Oh, they didn't call him by his right pronouns on the news. They didn't say he was a transgender. Where's the outrage on that? Oh, no, it's only when there's not a crime involved. But as soon as a crime is involved, then he's a man again? I don't understand. Are you a man or a woman?
It's a man, baby!
Everyone knows the answer, but I want to know from this person. Did you just dress up like a woman for this? Just to go to women's prison? Like, can you imagine if people legitimately started doing that nowadays? I'm 6'3", 225 pounds. Can you imagine me in prison with women? I mean, nobody will probably mess with me, but it's still a little bit of a disadvantage, right? But no, this guy, oh no, I'll just dress up like a woman, shoot a 2-year-old, and then I get to go to women's prison. Anyone see a problem with that? So if that's not bad enough, this person who did this shooting was a part of the BLM riots in 2020. And we all know what kind of people those are. Why don't we just take a look at that for a second?
Every time y'all sleep, your vehicles go up. We caught 12. I
mean, if that's not what a woman is supposed to sound like, I really don't have any clue. I mean, it sounds like a woman to me. No, see, it actually doesn't. And then if we go back to his mugshot, this is what he actually looks like when he's just a normal human being. Now look, when these mass shootings happen, usually the White House gets all in a tizzy and puts out a statement, right? Well, Kamala, or Camelot, or Camel something, like we usually say, did put out a statement, and it doesn't make any sense. She said, violence must stop. Congress must have the courage to pass common sense gun safety laws. Wow, we haven't heard you say that one. Doesn't that seem a little bit repetitive? Okay. Well, let's just go with that for a second. Let's say that they banned guns, all guns, a year before this happened. Would it have stopped it? I mean, I'm curious about what Kamala thinks. Do you think that people who break the law care about any sort of gun control? I'm also curious to see if you think gun control would have stopped this person from doing this. Do you think gun control changes mental illness? Do you think gun control changes the way a person who's kind of nuts feels on a certain day? If you do think that, maybe you should get checked into a clinic. The answer, in fact, is no. It would have not stopped this because this individual used an unserialized AR, which means it was not bought using gun control. And when I say using gun control, it's the laws that Congress has put in place to disarm Americans, meaning background checks, delays, problems with NICS. The list goes on and on. So this person had none of those. She or he, I don't even really know what to call him, got an unserialized AR, maybe made it at home, maybe bought it off the street, and there's no gun control involved with that. Don't y'all get that? I mean, it's really starting to get goofy here. You guys really think that gun control is doing something in America? You guys really think that some dude who works a corner in Chicago that has a Glock with a switch on it is like, oh man, Kamala just said that we got to pass some common sense gun safety laws, so I ought to get rid of this, maybe become a veterinarian or something. I mean, if I can't have a gun, dude, they don't care. They are literally not affected by any sort of gun control that you pass. And I know there's a lot of people out there saying, well, the accessibility part is the issue, right? To where you can just go into a gun shop and buy a gun. But this person didn't do that. I think it's time that we start being a little more realistic as far as what gun control actually means to Kamala and Biden and everyone else. I think you ought to just call it what you think it means. If you're not a part of the government, we're going to do everything in our power to disarm you and make sure that you can't get a gun. And then if we had it our way, everyone would just not have a gun and only the government would. That's a problem. That's called tyranny.